With the high taxation in the abroad life, with the different cultural belief and the different ethnic, yet a lot of people still want to travel. Even when they've heard a lot of things about the abroad life that we can say they are negative, yet everyone in Africa, if I'm not mistaken, majority of them still wants to travel. Do you know why? Watch my video to the end. Let's talk about it. Let me tell you the reasons why, even if you weren't thinking about it before, maybe you should add it to your budget somehow, pinch it in and say, yeah, maybe. Hi, thank you so much for the likes. I saw your comment, your like in my previous video. I am grateful. Thank you. Please, if you are new here or you've been watching my videos, please like and subscribe, especially the subscribe part. Please subscribe. That way you get notified whenever I post any video, and you're always first to know and be the first to watch and be the first to comment as well. Life in the abroad is fun. It's sweet. But majority of things that have advantages equally have disadvantages. But today we are going to be dealing more on the advantages. So this will be a part 1, and then a part 2 is coming where we'll talk about, I won't call it the disadvantage, I will call it the hard part. But today we are talking about the sweet, fun, and good part of living abroad. Trust me, if I am still given the option of choosing between the African, let me refer to my country, the Nigerian life, and the abroad life I'm living today, I'm still going to choose the abroad life. I have so many reasons, but I'm going to pinch on the few major ones I feel we all can do without, we all can live without. I might want you to think, I might want you to sit. If you're still back home and you have the resources, not everyone is privileged, not everyone has the resources to want to travel abroad, but when you are privileged enough or you have the resources and maybe you weren't thinking about it before, you might want to reconsider. You never can tell. So please like my video. So please like and subscribe and turn off the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I put up a new video. The top on my list today in this Japa life is access to good health care. Because you and I know in any country that you don't have good access to medical facilities, or you don't even have I know there are some countries where things are that bad that they don't have, nurses and doctors on ground. I don't want to go deep into that. Like I always say, this is my own experience, this is where I live, and this is how things are done, and these are things I have experienced. Being able to access good health care is the top on all priorities. No matter how good the place is, and then you're sick, you can't get the medical help you need. Trust me, it's not worth it. So for me, the first Japa reason why, if you were thinking about it emphasizing I don't want to, please rethink and think of it if I have my kids tomorrow and they are sick and they need medical attention, am I in a place where I can easily get it? Not just being able to afford it, because affordability is another thing, but not just being able to afford it, but being able to get it at that moment you need it. We've heard of so many stories back home where people were not able to access this whole thing, and then I don't want to go into the D word, but it came in and you lost people you never thought would just go because of male headache. So, and there's so many reasons why I feel being able to access good medical health care goes a long way. Like, for example, let's take, if you feel, for me to go to the hospital, I have to spend 20,000, 30,000, and then you don't have it, and you're sick, instead of you going to the hospital, I know where I come from. Trust me, people just prefer going to the pharmacy sometimes. Going to the pharmacy and just by themselves. Sometimes self-medicate and prescribe just from themselves. They just go there and say, I need this. They buy it and go home and try to treat it themselves. Some go there and talk to the pharmacy. The pharmacist is not the person who is to prescribe drugs for. It's supposed to be your doctor. But in that situation where you don't have the money, you then go to the pharmacy, which is the closest option to getting well. You come and be like, please, sell drugs for me. So for me, And maybe that the person will not even do tests to know exactly what is wrong with you. They just treat what they feel your symptoms look like, and then you might not be treated well, or you might be treated. There are some illness that come, they get better, come again, like they don't go, like, because they weren't fully treated. So for me, my emphasis is mainly on the good health care. They're able to access it. It's easily accessible to all. Like, you can't afford it, you can get it. You can afford it, you can equally get it. I know here you have to have like an insurance card. Even when you don't have an insurance card, like you're just an immigrant who just immigrated into the country, there is still some paperwork you need to do that they give it to you, like this is your paper. I remember when I came and then my insurance card was not out yet, like I was still processing my papers, my everything. I was still getting those medical care that I needed. Then I was pregnant, the care was there, like everything was still provided for. So for me, good health care is the top on my list. It's the top for me to think, yes, this is my Japa journey is worth it. Like, it's the first thing that comes to my mind when I say, oh, this life here is hard. But when I think of that part, it makes it the first for me. My second point is going to be equality among all. When I mean equality, like I said before, imagine if the rich is able to access expensive hospitals, and then I can't say you're poor, but you're not as privileged as them, and then you can't afford it, access it. That is not life. But life abroad has made it so that everyone is equal. Don't get me wrong. There is racism. I get it. There is, discrimination among ourselves. I get it. But before the law, everyone is equal. You can take someone who, offended you, who is white, take the person to court, and you both will go to court, and you will come out victorious if you're on the right side of the law. That to me makes life, makes life so great. Like I said before, this is about my country where I'm staying. I'm not talking about the country where you are staying. You might be staying in a different country and it's different in your country, but I'm talking about where I am staying right now. The equality among us all makes me feel like we are all human. Like, it makes it really known that yes, you are human like I am. They see, like, even when you're black, get it, we're black, we can't change it. We have the melanin in us, we can't change it, get it right. But you can, like, there are so many laws put in place that even the people themselves know the law, and they can't do above the law to you, because they know when you go to court, you're going to win. Just like having a landlord who knows that he or she can't just tell you to come pack out of the house when you have, you have a contract with them, except in the place of where they have like the family stuff. According to the law himself or his children, they need to use the house or something. That's the only reason. And he has to give you time to move. But when it happens that he just comes up and be like, oh, you have too many children in the house, come and leave. It can't happen. You can take the landlord to court, you can sue, and then you will come out victorious so long you have a good lawyer for yourself. So trust me, that equality among them makes me want to think, if I can be in a place where everyone is seen as equal, someone does something to me and I feel bad about it, I can tell the person. If the person doesn't react well, I can go to the police. There have been several situations where I lost my wallet, like with all my documents and that of my kids, everything inside, and I need it. Of course, you can't do without those, especially when it comes to the health insurance card. You need, like, it's very important. The driver's license, everything was inside. I went to the station, reported it, and when it was found, I was called, to come get my stuff. The other time I left it in the bus, I called the bus station and they said, okay, the next morning they will be able to check us. And the next morning they called me, I went there and I picked it up. Those equality to me is very great. And this third point of mine, we're talking about basic amenities. Education in Nigeria as a whole is great because, Nigeria has produced a lot of intellectual persons all around the world that are doing well for themselves. So I can't, downgrade that of Nigeria. But being able to get these things, I know in some part of Germany, they pay for school fees. They pay for kindergarten as well. I get it. But where I am, it's free to the kids, depending on the situation. If it's, breakfast, lunch, you pay for the breakfast and lunch. But school to them is free if the child is of the age. And I mean of the age, I mean like it is like here where I live, it is supposed to be 3 years before going to the kindergarten. So if you happen to be a mom who is working, like a working mom, and you need, the care earlier than it should be, which is 3 years, so you have to pay, not like you're paying one big money, it's just a little money because you work and the child needs to come in earlier than the child should have. But trust me, not just that. When we talk about the basic amenities being accessible, we talk about the good roads, like their road network. It's great. In some way, it has, some disadvantages, which I'll talk about in my next video, but it's great too. Like, it's so great. It's so nice. Like, you're going out to somewhere and then you're not scared of, I don't know if I'll get the bus or I'll not get everything is on the app. All you need to do is access your app, check when the bus is coming, check how long the drive is, everything. Like, they've made that basic amenities so available that you just look around and you see it everywhere. And then let's talk about the electricity. Even if it's expensive, we know it's expensive, but I pay for my electric bills and I get it at the end of the month. Trust me, there's no life as sweet and as funny as that. Even if I pay millions, I am paying it because I can afford it. They won't give it to me if they know I can't afford it. So I'm able to pay it because I can afford it. And then I pay for it and I get it. Trust me, it's worth more than the one I pay for and I don't get it. The network, the internet in the house, you pay for it, you get it, you have it, you use it, you explore it. Trust me, it is in fact, it is something you can't even think twice. I pay for something and I get it, especially that electricity part where you can see during the day, it's all turned off, like all lights are turned off. During the night time, you have it to sleep with, or you want to do something, or you don't have to be scared. There was one time my laptop was so bad, like I have to, plug and use at the same time. But I didn't think of running to go buy another one because it was still usable. Anywhere I go to, there's definitely going to be, there's going to be power for me to power my battery. So I'm not going to be scared like, I don't have power it's still going to be, even in the bus at times, you still get the plug. In the train, you still get the place where so it's accessible everywhere. You go somewhere, your battery is low, you can charge. So trust me, being able to access those basic amenities to me is great. You pay for it, it's expensive, we get it, but I am getting what I'm paying for. You get, taxation is expensive, I get it. But your tax is going a long way. Like, you can see what your tax is doing in the country. Like, it's so good. Like, you look around and you say, this is it. This is life. So the Japa life, sometimes when you think of the hard part, this good part outweighs it. And then you be like, no, I take the good part for it. I'll forget the bad part or the hard part and just face only the good part. So for me, if you were thinking too, not just... And when I talk about the basic amenities, it's not just about the electricity or the school. There are so many basic things that if I am to start going deep into them, trust me. Let's take, for example, you need a loan. What do you need a loan for? Probably you want to buy a car. Let me not go into the house part, but you want to buy a car. All you need to do is what they call like a credit check in English. Submit all your work papers, all the debts or, ongoing payments you have. They check and see, okay, this is what you can be able to give us monthly if we give you a loan of this amount. My dear, being able to get it at all, being considered at all, which is the equality part we are talking about. Even when you're black, they don't say, you're black, you can't, get a loan. You might run back to your country and all that. No, but being able to get it, you apply for it, and then it might not be what you wanted. Probably you want, let's assume you wanted 10,000, and then they give you, like, after checking all your payment, checking all your papers, going through what you spend at the end of the month, they come back and tell you, okay, they can only give you 7. Trust me, it is worth it. If you weren't thinking about it before think about it. If you think of that, you want to buy a house, all you need to do is your credit check. Like, check if you've ever, you know, borrowed money that you did not pay back? Or those are the things they check. And then check how much you're earning, check what you can afford, check the basis, you know, when you move into the house, the bills you're going to be paying, what will be left of your salary at the end of the month, this and that. I mean, like, they check and they tell you what they can give to you. But for them being able to even want to give it to you, there's nothing as good as that. So for me, these basic amenities, it outweighs the pain I go through at times when I say, oh, I miss home. But truthfully, these things outweighs it. So we're not going to keep saying the abroad is good. It's sweet to some extent, it's bad to some extent. The bad part, you'll see it in my next video. But the good part of it is these things that we get here, we would have been able to get it back in our home. It's just the government, and their selfish mindset. But we'll get there someday, right? As a Christian that we are, I believe someday we'll get there. Please, if you know you've enjoyed this video, like it was fun for you today, you've liked the video, don't equally forget to subscribe, please.